It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of Snowbreak. Okay. Back at it, into the fray. I have joined and I'm not here to play. Well, she might be, but I'm not. You know what? I want to stay cool in this hot terrain, so let's put some ice. Because ice is nice. I know, old pun. I'm sorry. I had to do it. It's classical. Alright, there we go. Not seeing any in the background, so it looks like it's just two. Or maybe there's some inside the tents and I just can't see that. Oh, I missed. There we go. Yep, there he is. I figured there might be a third somewhere.
Should have run when you saw us. Getting killed like this? Why don't these guns auto-load? Does nobody think about these things?
Shut up, Freesia! That is so unrealistic. How did they not hear the gun? It's not that far away. There's obviously not a silencer on it. I'm just saying. It's clear as day.
It's like they don't even calculate their odds of success.
Oh, you gonna throw it.
Anybody hurt?
You missed. Moving forward.
You would have thought they would have configured access privileges.
Alright, where am I going now? What is this, a patrol? On second thought, nah. Old-fashioned, shoot on sight.
No need to panic.
How does anybody survive that many bullets?
Fully loaded. We've got firepower.
There we go. Moving forward. I don't
Are you sure
like
I'm your
that.
best choice?
That's better.
Why don't these guns auto-load?
That's
Does
better.
nobody think about these things?
Better. There we
You would have
go.
thought they would have configured access privileges. Patience is a virtue.
It might be a virtue, but it's also based in timing. Bye. Oh, what? He survived? That's no fun. That was very anticlimactic. Right.
Is anybody hurt?
Oh, we're done? Okay, sweet.
どう？フリティア先生結構頼りになるでしょ？
Feel free to get mad at me if you want, but I'm just gonna say it now. She actually does sound kind of like a kid. First time in beating. Old vendettas and new grudges flourish in this wasteland. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what this one has. Hello, hello? Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Did I forget to hit the record button again? 1 second, the Geomancer will figure it out. Aha, there it is. This is Boo Boo, dedicated field agent for Yggdrasil's Spindle system. Reporting from beating on the Shozu border, about to begin my 6 field data collection mission. Wait, that might sound too uptight. This is going to be reviewed by the adjutant himself. Maybe I should loosen up a bit. Oh. Hi there, adjutant. My name's Boo Boo. I used to be a level 2 intelligence officer with Yggdrasil. Right now I'm stationed here in Beating, helping the Heimdall force with the Spindle system. This place makes me feel sad. Looks run down. The process turned out to be simpler than I had imagined, but also more bizarre. After the meeting, Frisha quickly ushered me into a specialized chamber for immersive use of the Spindle system. We put on the interface gear and dove into the analysis of data gathered by the adjutant named Boo Boo. One moment I was surrounded by the familiar walls of company headquarters. The next I was squinting against the harsh desert sun, a gust of sandy wind stinging my face. The realism was so intense it felt as though I had truly been transported to Beating. Professor Frisha, I've got a question. Go ahead, Yao. Does sunscreen work here? Well, probably? Actually, forget it, you won't need it anyway. None of this is real. Everything we see or feel comes from the data provided by Boo Boo. There's no actual UV rays to burn us. I expected the simulation to be pretty realistic, but this is just uncanny. Behind me, Yao bent down and scooped up a handful of sand, letting it trickle through her fingers, thoughtfully. I misread again. She had casually asked to join the session for a chance to enjoy some sunbathing in her dreams. Yet her fascination with the sand betrayed that it was just an excuse. Whoa! Cough! Sorry, not realistic enough. I can't read it the way I want to because I was just chewed out by a family member because I was, quote, too loud. So I'm trying to keep it down now, and it's honestly cramping me in my style. But I guess it's up to me to be a bit nice about it. It even smells earthy. Adjutant, this level of realism is insane. There's no difference. And now I keep reading stuff wrong. It's no different than actually being in the field. After giving the sand a final careful sniff, she blew the grains from her hand and straightened up. Why so quiet? Do I have something on my face? She instinctively reached up to touch her cheek, finding nothing amiss, while my silence did nothing to reassure her. She froze for a moment, momentarily at a loss. Welcome back, Yao. The words slipped out raw and honest. It had been far too long since I'd seen her geared up for action, and now seeing her like this again, something about her felt especially captivating. Hey, come on, you don't have to say that out loud. I was just curious, that's all. Yeah, sure. Curious about this whole dream travel thing. Getting to explore somewhere far away while taking a nap. Who wouldn't want to give that a try? Yeah, you lazy bum. Despite the glaring sunlight, the fleeting blush on her cheeks didn't escape my notice. Field reconnaissance, rugged desert treks. No one in Heimdall was better suited for tasks of this nature than Yao. Her decision to volunteer for this mission made perfect sense to me. Hey, standing around like that won't get us anywhere, you know? She really does look like a kid. Suddenly, Frisia's voice came not from beside us, but from above. Okay, I admit it, it's nice. I'll give it that much. Looking up, I saw her perched atop a large rock, standing on tiptoe with binoculars in hand, peering into the distance. See anything interesting up there? Don't ask me, ask yourselves. She waved vigorously at us with one arm, then tapped her forehead with the finger. We're inside Boo Boo's mind. Pay attention. She'll keep sharing everything she found, just like earlier. Following Frisia's guidance, Yao and I focused, tuning into the spindle system to uncover more of the data the field agent had left behind. It wasn't long before Boo Boo's voice returned. It feels weird. I'm sorry, but it does. Couldn't they have picked a different name? I'm just saying. As if her consciousness had fused with my own. During my first 5 surveys, beating has always struck me as peculiar. I'm guessing that's her. It looks deserted at first glance, but on closer inspection, you'll find traces of human activity everywhere. The remnants of infrastructure suggest there used to be a settlement here, large enough to house thousands of people. What's odd is that according to all available data, this area hasn't seen war. Stop it. For a very long time. Nor has there been any recorded titogen corrosion. So what exactly caused all this devastation? And where are the people who used to live here? This time the great geomancer Boo Boo will get to the bottom of it before the adjutant. I can't take this seriously, I can't. Deserted lands, settlement. Wait, something's blocking my view this way. And this way too. Aha, found it. That patch over there, it looks rebuilt. Definitely modern architecture. Adjutant, I discovered a clue. Oops. Whoa. Freesia, be careful. I'm fine, steady as a rock. Freesia set down the binoculars, bracing her knees. Her body trembling slightly, don't need to know all that. Down below, Yao had already climbed halfway up the rock pillar, scanning the distance attentively. That girl mentioned a settlement. Did you see anything? I'll tell you when I get down. Adjutant. As she suddenly called out to me, I instinctively opened my arms and lowered my center of gravity, ready to catch her, but then she did something completely unexpected. Watch me! Here I come! With a short run up and push off the pillar's edge, she launched herself into the air. Her body... Is that arced? Yeah, probably. Arced gracefully, twisting mid-air to regain balance. As her feet touched the ground, she crouched low, her palms hitting the dirt to absorb the impact. Using the momentum, she propelled herself toward me. In a split second, she was standing before me with a triumphant grin, one hand on her hip and her chin tilted up proudly. She didn't seem out of breath or flushed in the least. How's that? With this new exosuit, even Professor Freesia is as tough as iron. I don't want to pick either of those options, but okay. Heads, tails, heads, tails. Heads, tails. Tails it is then. Freesia was still brimming with excitement from syncing perfectly with their new exosuit and experiencing the improved physical abilities it provided. Her enthusiasm was infectious. I couldn't help myself. I reached under her arms and gently lifted her into the air. Well, look at you, so strong and aerodynamic. Very turbo. You bet, I can outrun the wind now. I'm good, I promise. Hold up, Freesia, there's something I still don't get. That girl Boo Boo, is she really conscious? I'm sorry, unconscious. Why do I keep doing that? I don't understand it. It's like it's only here, though, that I keep doing it, and I don't get it. Is she really unconscious now, or... Huh? What do you mean? Well, I personally picked her up from Home's border office, so I'm absolutely sure she's in a coma. Everything she's said since we entered the spindle system seems to be about past investigations she conducted in this area, which makes sense. But there's one thing that seems off. It feels like I can actually talk to her in real time. Here, let me show you. Hey Boo Boo, can you hear me? Ah, is that Miss Yao from Heimdall? Hello? This is Boo Boo, and yes, I can hear you clearly. As Yao spoke, Boo Boo's crisp, cheerful voice resonated in all our minds at once, clear and unmistakable. Could you do me a favor and tell me the date and time? Okay, that's just a whole bunch of nonsense. Sure, right now it's Agent Boo Boo's 6th official field survey of beating. 1317 on XX, XX, 206X. Wait, hold on a second. Did she just give us a timestamp from 6 months ago? Exactly, which is why I find it so strange. Professor Freesia, do you know what is going on here? Even Professor Freesia is stumped. It's supposed to be impossible for something like this to occur. No worries, you know this system better than Yao and I do. Just tell me the most unreasonable possibility, and I'll try to think it through. Normally, only those currently using the system can communicate with each other, and right now, you control the access permissions, Adjutant, but Boo Boo, she clearly can field agents. I misread that in my head. Can field agents access the system when uploading data? I thought it was a sentence, not a question. Is there any chance that Boo Boo's consciousness could still be trapped inside the system? If I could clone myself and slap myself right now, I would. No, saving and uploading data doesn't... Stop it! Doesn't require any... I did it again. Not even 20 seconds went by and I did it again. Gosh, freaking dang it. No, saving and uploading data doesn't require accessing the system. Not to mention, ordinary people can't handle the neurological and psychical, physical strain that comes with the... Whatever, just skip it. I'm so done with this. My best guess is that the data recovered from Boo Boo's survival pod is partially corrupted. My brain's about to be corrupted. For all I know, it's already corrupted. Causing an access error during data retrieval. Is there a chance it's been tampered with externally? Highly unlikely. Most of the Spindle System's development was handled solely by Director T. Even I only contributed to a few key modules. It's been maintained under the strictest confidentiality. Even if outsiders or our enemies attacked our field agents, they couldn't possibly know the Spindle System exists. You can't hack a system if you don't even know it exists. Okay, guess we'll have to set these questions aside for now and press on. By the way, Freesia, this is just my guess, but the best way to fully access all of Boo Boo's findings is to retrace her original route, right? That's correct. It's the most efficient approach, though it's not foolproof. Field agents have their own focus during investigations. Following her path allows us to confirm much of what we know, but if we want more, we'll need to fill in the blanks looking for what she might have missed. Exactly. Let's start with the settlement she mentioned and see what we can find out there. And so the three of us followed Boo Boo's trail deeper into the uncharted expanse of beating. Can I just skip this now? Can we be done with this and move on? We navigated through yet another stretch of jagged rocky desert. We bypassed what looked like a weathered, wind-eroded ridge or perhaps a wall blasted apart by explosives. Not to mention the sun beating down on our heads as we walk across endless plains of sand, but hey, whatever. By now it felt like we've been walking for 2 hours. The horizon even began to show faint hints of greenery and the shimmer of water. Still, the so-called settlement was nowhere in sight. Not even as we entered a strange forest of towering mushroom-shaped stone pillars. Wait, let's stop for a moment. Oh, what do you know? They do look like kind of giant stone mushrooms. They do look like it. Perhaps it was the Spindle System's effect. Our senses were amplified Can I read? Read, thank you. To their absolute limits, even though we were only walking, it felt like we were burning through stamina at an exponential rate. Yeah, I want to be done now. I'm sick of tired of all this reading. I'm tired of it. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. All this reading is giving me a boo-boo. Yao called out again, but there was no response. Yao, what's wrong? Don't these field agents use maps on their missions? Wandering like this isn't going to cut it. I need a map. If the field agent has uploaded high-precision map data into the system, we can access it as users. All you have to do is think about the map and it should appear. Before she could finish, a holographic 3D map with a fully rendered terrain model projected itself into the air before us. That's useful. Yao, who had looked worn and weary just moments ago, perked up immediately. She bent over to examine the map intently. Something's off. She murmured under her breath, adjusting the angle of the 3D map with her fingertips. Professor Freesia, this spot here. This is where you climbed up onto the rock earlier, right? She pointed at a solitary high point on the map and turned to Freesia for confirmation. Huh? There's the huge rock slab to the east and the gas pipeline to the south. Yeah, that's the spot. And right now, we're here. After all this time, how come it looks like we've hardly moved on this map? Well, if you just look at the straight line distance, sure, it seems short, but that's not quite the full picture. Look. Freesia adjusted the map again, spinning it to demonstrate as she continued explaining. We would have covered this distance much faster if we'd taken a straight path, but to stick to the route Boo Boo recorded, we've actually taken quite a detour to get here. That all makes sense now. Yeah, it does make sense when you look at it that way. Are you two playing some kind of word game? What do you mean it all makes sense? According to what you just said, we actually walked in a wide arc. But Freesia, didn't you notice anything strange about the path we took? What do you mean? Every spot around here looks practically the same. Even though there are obvious signs of human activity in some places, it's really hard to tell which way is which in this desert. I found Yao's alert demeanor just as charming as her usual laziness. Holding back the urge to jump in, I let her continue. Then why'd you jump in with that line of context in the first place? It's normal for nature to occasionally form confusing environments. Back in the days of scientific expeditions, explorers often got completely lost in the wild. But usually once humans leave their mark, intentionally or not, the environment becomes more readable. Roadworks, landmarks, renovations. All those things helped make locations easier to distinguish, but here, while this place has clearly been shaped by human activity, we're still completely lost. That can only mean one thing. This place only looks natural. In reality, it's a massive maze, carefully designed by some mastermind with an ulterior motive. That's a bit overkill, don't you think? Doing all that? She couldn't have been more correct. On the surface, this area seemed like a natural landscape, but there was something strangely artificial about it. Feng Shui, geomancy, landscape matrices. Heh. I've only ever read about those things in old magazines. I didn't think I'd ever actually see them in use. That's impressive. It's really not that big of a deal. No, seriously. What you just said lines up perfectly with what I saw from up there. Look at this. See that opening? It looks like it was formed by wind erosion, right? But now it's blocked by rubble. Earlier I thought the rubble seemed strange. It doesn't look like it was shattered by explosives. but it's not entirely natural either. And over here, the stone forest. Even the angles of the broken pieces are eerily similar. That's way too convenient to be a natural wonder. But I only started noticing those details after we climbed up there and getting a better look. So how did you figure it out? Was it just intuition? Intuition? Let's call it that. Yao tilted her head and flashed a wry smile toward Freesia. Then she stretched out lazily, scanning the area around us. On the battlefield, maps are made by people on the front line with their boots in the dirt. If you got out and explored more, you'd pick it up too. That said, these skills come from first-hand experience in facing danger. Honestly, I wouldn't want anyone else to go through that. It's not worth the hassle. Hassle? What kind of hassle? Gee, where do I start? Back before Heimdall, I was just a soldier. But somehow, because I picked up a few skills that aren't easy for the average Joe to learn, nice term there, people started thinking that I must have been in a gang as a kid. Ridiculous. Real skills are forged on the battlefield, not in back alleys. Well, that's debatable. I mean, I've had my fair share of dealing with gangs, and, well, I developed some good skills from that, so it just varies from person to person. Honestly. Anyway, enough about that. Adjutant, you seem distracted. What's on your mind? It's been a while since we last heard Boo Boo's voice, but it seems like we're still following her original investigation path without deviation. Can we get on with this? We've been here forever. I'm tired of this reading. That probably leaves us with only one explanation, Adjutant, which is the spindle system doesn't just record field agents' observations. It also logs any combat encounters. However, combat data is stored in a separate module. Maybe we should disconnect for now and check the data Boo Boo brought back to see if there's a combat-specific module we can access. Sounds like a hassle, doesn't it? Why would they make the system segregate combat data? Do you remember the first questions you asked me when we logged in? Huh? You mean the one about sunscreen? What does that have? Wait, are you saying... Exactly. While it feels like we're reliving the agent's memories in a dreamlike simulation, the system replicates everything with near-perfect realism. Even fake sunlight feels like it's burning our skin. Now imagine the system simulating what it feels like to get shot. What would that do to us? Actually, that is a good point. And what if you got killed while you were there? Or you got put in a near-death experience? Not good. Field agents often get injured or worse. That's why we can't let system users experience the same risks. So what's the plan, Adjutant? Do we disconnect for now? You two disconnect. Find that combat module and load it. I'm staying connected. I want to see what it's like without cutting the link. Are you joking? No way, Adjutant, that's too dangerous. So is living. It's okay, just do as I say. Adjutant. No matter how dangerous this is, it can't be worse than that time in Valhalla inside the tree, right? Along the way, I felt like I've missed something important, and I like to see just how far the system can go in syncing an agent's experiences with the user. Yeah, too much reading. Go ahead, load the combat module. Unable to dissuade me, the two operatives silently followed my orders. Once they disappeared from sight, I let my body and mind relax completely, lying flat on the ground. The sky stretched endlessly above me, as did the words that keep going up. The sand beneath radiated heat, and the wind brushing my face carried a sharp dryness, gritty with fine particles of dust. Everything felt unnervingly real. Despite being in a virtual realm, my thoughts were clearer than ever. T had been right. Rosen had no interest in direct confrontation with Yggdrasil. She knew me too well, almost as well as she knew herself. Wherever my curiosity led, she would surely lay traps waiting for me to take the bait. Without the spindle system, without beating, the city in reality be just another trap waiting for me to stumble into. How long is this script? Field Agent Boo Boo reporting in. Spotted a small number of locals scattered around beating. Ow! Arg, that hurts. Ugh. It's confirmed now. In the outer desert areas, groups of armed personnel from the Taigu Connect Beating Division are actively hunting down these locals, but their motives remain unclear. Those scoundrels. How dare they wound a geomancer? Just you wait. I'll bash your heads in soon enough. Dark. I like it. Wait, that didn't get recorded, did it? Whatever. No time to worry about that now. Adjutant, if this data has reached you, please be extra careful. If my guess is correct, this entire desert is a meticulously designed maze. Whoever created it must be up to something big. And with armed militants and locals crawling all over the place, they're not the kind you can take lightly. Now, it's time to pay them a visit, and let my bullets do some questioning. Finally done. Good lord. Hey, maybe next time you guys make an event, you could make the wordings just a little bit smaller. No? Okay, great, thanks. Man, even these rewards actually kind of suck. I mean, these ones I need. That I need. That I could always use, but the rest of this is just garbage. Alright, well thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off, and I will see you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. And I hope to see you all back here again soon. And one more thing before you go, can you please check out the links in the description? And join the Discord server too, while you're at it. Thank you so much. Sorry I have to be quiet now. I wish I could record this with my normal go-to voice attitude, but a family member of mine just had some surgery done, and apparently they were upset that I was, quote, too loud. And it is understandable, I do have a louder tone than most, but asking me to be quiet, kind of difficult to do. So I've turned down all my systems, all my settings, everything, even my volume on my headset, just hoping I can lower my tone slightly. Because I noticed that when I play music, I try to match my tone with that volume. So I'm doing everything I can to just tone it down a bit, so that they can rest. It's not going fully well, I'd have to say, but I'm hoping I can keep it down just slightly. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.